Hello, Goldsboro gals, Jody and Janet and Natalie. It's Dr. Palermo with your week 5 instructional video. It is February 12th, almost Valentine's Day, but I'm thinking ahead to our next class meeting in Goldsboro too, and moving some stuff around and filling up that weekend with some of the content from week 5. I had you write a lot of stuff last week and less so this week, but let's see what's coming up. You should be working on your PLCPBs and your FCEPBs, and I hope that you will bring drafts of those documents to share with your classmates next week. I do want you to formally present what you have so far for the FCEPs and the PLCPBs to your peers. We'll use the rubric and give you feedback on your progress to date. But I want you to be working on those and be ready to present this next weekend. After that, those things should be well underway, and your activities along with the PLCs and FC family community engagement projects should be ongoing, but I hope that you're well underway with your writing and gathering evidence. Did you know, PAPA, that photographs are figures? There you go. You should be reading Lorna Earl, 7 to 9, Black, Chapter 4 this week, and in Standards, the section on fairness. Chapter 3 is a foundational chapter on fairness. And what does fairness mean to you, and how can we ensure fairness in the use of assessments in schools? I think it's an important question, one that I'm not going to say more about right now, but we will look at the standards presentation and talk some about fairness when we're together again. Back to Black. There's just one dialogue post that I want you to do this week, but it is from Black. What formative assessment practices described in Black could be integrated more effectively into your own teaching? What practices would you like to share with colleagues? Black Chapter 4 is about putting ideas into action, and Black suggests questioning, feedback, sharing criteria, like rubrics, and self-assessment are methods that might be better used, more effectively used as formative assessment in schools. What are you doing now? What more could you do? What could you encourage your colleagues to do? So read and provide some feedback on Black Chapter 4 for a dialogue post this week. Do dive in a little bit deeper into reliability. Those will be topics: validity, reliability, fairness, that we talk about in our face-to-face section. And you need to be conversant in order to both lead assessment practices at your school, but also to write about for your dissertation. And from Earl Chapter 9, not so much Chapter 9, though I guess it is described in there. I want to take one of the dialogue posts that was suggested for this week and turn it into a class activity. I'm not exactly sure exactly how I want this to roll out, but it requires some pre-planning and some work on your part. So think about this and then tweak it to make it work for you. I want you to be able to lead a group of teachers in a discussion at your school about a piece of student work and how it is being used as an assessment. So do you assign a four-paragraph essay in the language arts class at your middle school? Bring an essay along with the rubric for us to work on in class. So we want a student work sample, or perhaps more than one work sample, but I need to have multiple copies of that student work sample to share with your peers, at least 3 for your other peers and for me. And then we're going to look at it together with the rubric to see how you might lead a discussion with peers, teachers at your school about this assessment and whether it meets the student's needs, how it might be tweaked, how you might just have that conversation. So maybe I'm not being clear, but I want you to bring at least 3 copies of one student work sample along with the rubric or the standards that are being used. If it's something that you know is not perfect and that could be improved upon, that's probably even better. So bring some imperfect student assessments and work samples to class next week. Here's a prompt saying review the FCEP rubric and continue working and writing on that. Actually, you're going to present that work on the FCEP. So I didn't say it for the PLCP, but instead of doing a dialogue post here, we're going to do that kind of feedback in class. So that's an in-class activity for next weekend. This analyzing work samples is going to be an in-class project, and do respond to Black Chapter 4 for this week's dialogue post. Keep working on those PLCPs and FCEPs and make sure that you're bringing something to share or share with your peers next weekend. Have a great week, ladies. That's it for me this week.